Yo, what up guys, it's Marcus Paper. So let's take a look at this. This is a stock twits message that I posted last night. We can see this ascending triangle that I've been talking about, all these stick figure lines on a chart right over here. And we can see that we have this triangle here within this. So we have this wedge within this triangle. And basically I took the amplitude of this and said, if we break down tomorrow to the downside, and that's very possible. And that's kind of what I think is going to happen, at least the likelihood, since we closed right on the bottom of this triangle here, that usually to get to the downside basically you have to open below it. And so let's see what happened today. Did we open below this? Where did price end up going? And basically I think that this price action of the target of the amplitude of this move is going to align with the triangle here, the base of this triangle. So basically that's why I think this might be the actual point of where price might be going to, basically the convergence of this target and when that would actually correspond to the bottom of this triangle. So let's jump into this now. But before we get into this video, if you get any value from this content, don't forget to smash down on that like button. It really helps this content, helps other people see this video. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to this channel. And I'd really appreciate it. Okay, so we can see right over here, we're looking at Tesla stock right here. And basically, look at this. We broke down below this line right here, and we opened and closed below this line. So that's not so surprising. But basically, we're saying now is that we wouldn't be surprised to see price break down further in the next days to potentially weeks to come, and maybe we finally hit the bottom of this triangle basically. And this triangle, we're talking about something that looks a little bit like this, right? I mean, that's a horrible drawing right there, but basically that is our triangle, right? Okay, so we're looking at that. Basically, this is kind of where we think we're going to go before we start to bounce to the upside. And then that's when I think we're finally going to be breaking out of this pattern. That's what I'm watching, and that's our bias right now. Maybe Tesla stock goes a lot lower. I talked about if Tesla stock actually breaks to the downside in this pattern, where price could go, and we looked at the amplitude before in the past, and that would take us pretty close to actually the highs from over here, back around $502. So that's some pretty interesting price action. So we have to be aware of what the downside could be, but basically right now we are biased that we'll find support down here and then go back to the upside. And let's take a look at Palantir stock. We can see Palantir stock, we're just kind of trading, we're continuing to trade in this pattern here. Have we found a top yet? We talked about basically on the 23rd how I was pretty bullish on Palantir stock, how all the signs were leading to higher prices because we not only had a close the day before, but also we had the weekly close over here above this trend line that we've been watching. So we've been bullish on Palantir stock. We are still bullish on Palantir stock. A couple noteworthy things to be taking a look at basically is this line over here from the bottom to here, something like this. Basically, this is when we turn from bullish to bearish, and that's the line in the sand. Now, this is a little ways away though. So is there another point in the near future that could kind of give us an early indication of when to switch from being bearish to bullish? Well, actually, there happens to be another point that I would look at. Basically, it's the close over here. Basically, we're talking about $23.41. It also lines up very nicely with some other points in history. We can also see that the low over here is also $23.39. So $23.40, let's just split the difference. And so if we go below this $23.40, and so you can see that intraday here, the low is $23.42. So we didn't go below this $23.40. So if we go below that, that's the indication that we'll probably go to the trend line that we're watching, the line in the sand here. And then that's when breaking this line is when we start becoming bearish. So those are the two things that I'm watching for Palantir stock in the short term. And looking at the S&P 500 here, well, we're just still trading sideways. We're still bullish. Nothing has changed here, and we'll remain bullish. And Apple had some smashing earnings, it looks like, so we're going to remain extra bullish. Okay, well, that's all for today, folks. I hope you guys got some value from this content. If you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe to this channel for more content like this, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. And keep in mind that none of this is financial advice. This is just some random guy on YouTube drawing some stick figure lines on a chart talking to you guys.